Well guys, I'm here at a rest area and I just had a light pop up on my dash. In fact, it did it several times before I could get pulled in here and stopped. And it says, warning, stop engine failure. So if you're driving a Volvo like I am, don't let your mechanic or your safety guy or whoever jam you up over this issue, because it is not an issue. Volvo has this design that it'll either pop up that stop engine failure warning, buzzer, all that mess will go off, or it'll give you the same warning and it'll say critically low coolant level. Well, here's what it takes to get a critically low coolant level on a Volvo truck, and maybe some others. This little device right here is what's known as a reservoir, derived from the word reserve. Kind of like this reserve I've got going on down around my belly where it's growing. It's extra. It's for later if it's needed. It's not part of the main system. As you can see, the reservoir is here, the radiator is here. There is no radiator cap on top of that radiator, so therefore there's no way of actually checking the level in the radiator. So the way this system is designed, the extra is kept in this tank right here, and if the main system over here gets low for any reason, it can pull from this. Now, as you can see, it has a minimum and a maximum level, and that's not a critical measurement. As long as there's coolant in this tank, your main system is completely full. So here's what happens. When the sensor, let's see if I can find it here. There it is. Right up in here. So if that sensor right there that sticks up into the bottom of that tank detects air when you hit a bump or the truck sways, it's going to trigger a critically low coolant, and it will save it in the ECM. Now when your mechanic looks at it, he's going to say that you had low coolant, if he's an idiot, because along with real low coolant you'll also have overtemp. In this case, as you can see in the picture I had earlier, my engine was operating at completely normal temperatures. Critically low coolant warning simply means it's time to add some coolant to this reservoir out here. But when I hit a bump, and I've hit about 10 of them in the last couple miles, and it triggers every single time, it's going to have a series of saved events in your ECM, or engine control module. And when you print it off, it will say critically low coolant level. Once again, as you can see, it's not critically low, because this is simply a reserve. Extra. Again, like my belly fat I've got going on. It's extra for hard times. So all you got to do is add a little coolant to it and get back on the road. Just keep in mind though, when you see critically low coolant, if you don't also see an overtemp along with it, it wasn't actually critically low. I'll tell you one other thing that will cause a problem. If you have a blown head gasket, or you have an O-ring bypassing around one of your cylinder O-rings, your sleeve O-rings, and it puts oil in here, or if you have an oil cooler going bad and it puts oil into this, it can be completely full, but that sensor will not read correctly with with oil on it, and it will give you a false low coolant. But again, don't let your boss jam you up over something that isn't actually low coolant. It can just be a faulty reading, or it can just be a, hey, it's time to add a little more to the reservoir, as you can see clearly in this case. Y'all keep between the lines and keep the greasy side down.